Hey, what's going on? I am Ken Walls. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ken Walls. I am the number one best-selling author of a book called Walls of Wisdom: Turning Pain into Profit. I am the CEO and founder of Client Solution Innovations. I've developed websites, done SEO, all of that stuff for many, many, many years. Built my first website in 1994. Danielle Rowe, good evening. How are you? So I have been at it for a long time. What's up, Zygen? How are you? Good to see you. So I wanted to come on tonight and talk about something I had. I do a lot of coaching as well and business consulting. And it's interesting to me how, man, I see so many people. Dan Kelleher, how you doing? Tammy Rodriguez is in the house. I see so many people. I talk to so many people that are in their own way. And what I mean by that, and it's not a statement of judgment because I've been there many, many times. It's really more of a, have you ever had one of those things that you need to do, but you don't? Like you just don't because of fear, because of whatever. Like for example, I used to sell for this company a long time ago. One of my first sales jobs, actually. What's up, Ryan Tabernacle? So one of my very first sales jobs, I had to go out door to door and to businesses and sell this service. And I knew what I would map out my route every single morning. I'd map it out. I'm going to this street, parking my car, going through this business complex. I'm going to keep just going around and around and hit all these businesses. And then I'd get there and be I'd be terrified to open up. I'd park my car and then I'd sit and I'd stare like some kind of a weird stalker, sit in the parking lot and just stare and think, just go knock on their door. Like you got to just go in and talk to them. And then I would have the conversation in my head. Yeah, but the receptionist is going to be nasty with you. And hey, Lori Stone, how are you? And the receptionist is going to be nasty. They're going to be mean. They're not going to let you talk. And yes, Zyzen, I am. I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch right now. But and I'd sit there and I'd make all these things up in my head. And I would say, you know what? Maybe I won't go in. Maybe it was a chiropractor's office or something, right? I'll go down and let me drive down to this. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about the energy at this place, and so I drive down to another business or I drive around the block, right? And you're making up all this stuff in your head. It's not even real. And look, I wish I could say this only happened to me one time. It's happened to me so many daggone times. It is crazy. Hey, Susan Day, how are you? I mean, it was crazy how many times. And it's not just in a sales position that we do this. It's in life in general. We get up in our head and we play out all of the possible negative scenarios, and then we don't take the action. I have Ben Gay the third, my brother. How you doing? There's a guy that knows about sales. I believe he trained directly under the Dr. Napoleon Hill. Ben's been on my show. What an amazing human being he is. Talk about somebody with unbelievable experience. So, I would go and I would drive around and I'd think, man, I can't, I can't go knock on that door. I'm scared to death to go in and talk to that business owner. And I would literally do this, and I'm not exaggerating. I would do this for hours and hours, waste an entire day. I go, oh my gosh, look at that. It's 11:30. It's lunchtime now. Shoot. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go get lunch. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get lunch. And then, boy, I'm going to hit it hard after lunch. I'm going to knock on every daggone door that there is. There's no way anybody's telling me no. I'm knocking on every single door. And then I'd get lunch and I'd make it an extra long lunch because, you know, when you're important, you can take an extra long lunch and you don't have to go knock on those doors. And so by, you know, 1:30, I'm back at it, man. I'm back at it, and I'm back in a parking lot, and maybe I go finally knock on one door. And guess what? All that stuff I thought about that receptionist was true. Was true. What's up, Glenn? Don Morris. For those of you that don't know who I am Ken Walls. I am a best-selling author of the book Walls of Wisdom. I am the CEO and founder of Client Solution Innovations. We are a web development and marketing firm. Kayla, how in the world are you? Ken Wentworth, what's up? So I would, you know, the story I was telling was back probably almost 30 years ago when I worked for a company, and I would get into those cycles. I'm having trouble hearing you. What in the world? That'll freak you out when your Apple Watch starts talking to you. What's up, Weldon? So, yes, Kyle, you are correct. Mike Scott, great talking with you. Tracy, what's going on? So, she said, who? What's up, Glenn? Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. So look, getting in your head and staying stuck in those stories, man, it can be debilitating. It can end a career. It can end your career. It can put you in a place where you end up like going, okay, now I've lost my job because I was so stuck in my head in the fears, the projections of if I knock on this door, I knock on that door. And now today I have zero fear today, but it's only because, and again, this is not me judging anyone. So please don't think I am. I have been in that place so many times that it's mind-boggling to me. Where, by the way, the video looks weird. It can end everything. That's right, Tracy. And you know, I'm going to share the stream. Thank you all, Ali Mighty on YouTube. I appreciate you. So look, getting out of your own way is what I titled this. Getting out of your own way. When you get stuck in something, man, the first thing I start doing is I start writing. I get out a piece of paper and I start writing. And this is something Grant Cardone talks about. I heard Zig Ziglar talk about it many, many, many years ago. Tom Hopkins, the greats, Ben Gay III, all of these people say, get a piece of paper out and write down your goals. It's scary. Lori just said it, false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Absolutely. And so how I get past that, because look, we have, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this. He says that, you know, 90% of the thoughts that we have going on in our head are the same thoughts that we had yesterday. And that we're walking around telling ourselves these stories based in fear, based in all this stuff. And half of what we're saying to ourselves, the stories we're telling ourselves, it's not even the truth. We're lying about it. We're making it up. We're embellishing the past. We're embellishing past events. And we've all done that. you stub your toe on a dresser and you're like, oh my God, and it hurts. And you like hit the floor and you're like, oh man, your wife comes running in. What happened? Are you okay? And you're like, no, I just broke my freaking toe. You don't know if it's broken. You're just making that up. And then later on at work, you're telling your buddies, man, I hit my toe on a dresser and broke it. I broke my dang toe, man. It hurts like hell still. Right. And you know, like it's taking it. I'm sure, Tracy, I know your story. And you know, so we're going through, we're making up all of these things. And the way that I like to do this is I like to reframe, because I have been through some unbelievable, painful things in my life. Unbelievable, like for real. Angela Brooks, hey, Ermelo, how are you? I've been through some unbelievably painful situations in my life. And I will tell you something. Almost none of the stuff that I had going on up here that I was projecting into my future, almost none of it came to pass. Almost none of it. When you learn how to reframe the painful things, when you learn how to take something painful that's happened in your life and somehow reframe it, somehow reframe what happened, somehow. And what I do, like I wrote some notes down. One of the things that I do is I write down positive affirmations all the time. Mike Scott, thank you, bro. Some Salty, what's up, dude? Or dudette? I don't know if you're a dude or a dudette. But anyway, you know, I write down positive affirmations all the time. And you know, you can say anything that you want. I don't care. Call it woo-woo, call it whatever you want. I don't care. I'm telling you what works for me and what works for a lot of other people is when you're writing down your goals, like Grant Cardone talks about, writing down your goals twice a day, writing down your goals 2 times a day, once in the morning, once at night. And he says there's one other time he writes them down, and that's when he experiences a loss. When he experiences a loss, he writes his goals down again. Now, I write down my goals and I mix in affirmations with it. I write down my goals as if it already happened. That's one of the things that I do. And I write down what it is. I write down what it is that I'm grateful for. Because I can tell you right now, I promise you that anger and disappointment cannot exist in your brain at the same exact moment that gratitude is existing. Carrie Lynn Carter, what's up? Susan, can I have every story you have? Can I have every story you have beat? All righty then. That's a big statement. So, and that's cool. Like for me, it's like, look, there are people walking around in this Some Salty. My job title is I am a best-selling author and I am the CEO and founder of Client Solution Innovations. We are a web development and marketing firm, and I'm a coach. I coach a lot of people. So look, everybody is carrying their pain. You know, I got sober 17 and a half years ago. I quit drinking, and it's a good thing, trust me. And by the grace of God, I haven't had a drink in 17 and a half years. And when I first got sober, I used to go to these meetings, and I heard this guy complaining one time, and this old timer sitting in this meeting said, you know what? If we all took all of our problems and we could take them and just throw them out in the middle of the room, and we could pick up somebody else's problems and take theirs instead. He said it wouldn't be long and you would bring your problems back. You would put or their problems back, drop them back in the room and say, give me my problems back. See, we're all walking around All of us are walking around carrying problems, carrying pain, carrying regret, carrying all of these things. And we're basing our lives, our existence, our experiences, our joy, our happiness, our love on, we're basing it all on that. And we don't have to live that way. We do not have to live that way. We all know people who are victims. They're victims. They're victims in everything they do. They're walking around thinking the universe, that God, everybody's out to get them, out to hurt them. That sounds rich. Not yet. We're getting there. We all know people like that. That no matter what, they would complain if they hit the lottery. We all know people like that, right? Well, here's the thing. I got to open this up on my phone because it just ain't going well. I don't see the comments anymore. What happened? Hang on. I'm pulling it up on my phone here. So, there's a book called The Road Less Traveled, written by M. Scott Peck. Unbelievable book. And the first 3 words of that book in chapter 1 are, life is difficult. And that doesn't mean like we walk around going, oh, I'm just not going to try because it's so difficult. No, accept that it's going to be difficult. Accept that it's going to be difficult. And then you can transcend the difficulties. It's easier to transcend the difficulties. Says that I'm watching. Interesting. It said, oh yeah, because I just signed on my phone. That's right. Life is difficult. And if you haven't read The Road Less Traveled, I highly recommend it after you read my book, Walls of Wisdom, Turning Pain into Profit. You can walk around. I almost said don't walk around being a victim. But hey, if you want to walk around in life being a victim to the circumstances, to the cards that life has dealt you, I get it, man. That's cool. If that's what you want. If you want to do something with your life, it's going to require that you take freaking massive action. Not like, oh, well, I'm going to dip my toe in the water over here and see how this goes. Like, man, go all in. Go all in on something. Like, seriously, all in. If you have a dream of owning a business, don't tell me that you don't have the money to start a business, because I don't have sympathy and I don't have empathy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that I don't have it. There was some irony in there. Look, I went through a divorce, and I was living at a buddy's house, feeling all mopey and depressed, had lost my job. And he's like, dude, I can't keep supporting you, man, and giving you money. And I'm sorry, dude. I know. I told him that. I know. I'm sorry. He's like, go do something with your life, bro. Like, go do something. What are you doing? So I went, oh, I don't know. What would I do? Go get another job or what? He goes, dude, get back into website development. You're good at it. Do the marketing stuff. You're good at it. Go do, I don't know, but you can't stay at my house anymore, man. I'm giving you 2 weeks or whatever it was. You need to go get your own place. Go do something with your life. And it was that day that my life changed. It was that day. It was that tough love from one of my best friends that said, dude, stop this moping crap and pull it together and go do something. And so I did. He loaned me $20 that day. I used to smoke cigarettes. They were $3 a pack back then. I bought a pack of cigarettes, had $17 left. put $10 gas in my car, had $7 left in my name. And I went, I'm going out and I'm going to knock on doors until somebody says yes. I can do that. I had nothing. I literally had nothing. I didn't even have my own house. I had nothing. Nothing. And I went out and I knocked on doors that day. And I knocked and I knocked. I had $7 left for the McDonald's dollar menu. I thought, man, I can eat lunch and dinner on $7. You kidding me? I'll eat like a king today. So I went out and I knocked on doors and knocked on doors and knocked on doors and doors and doors and doors. And then finally, I ran into somebody that offered me $600 to help them with their website. Ryan, how you doing, bro? $600. It might as well have been $6 million. That's what it felt like, for real. Like, it felt like the dude just literally gave me $6 million. That's awesome, Susan. Amen. I love that. That's awesome. And I didn't say that was you. I wasn't implying that's you. So look, I went out and made it happen. And here's the thing. Like, people don't change until the pain becomes so great. The fear of not changing becomes so great that the only thing left is to change. And I was at that place. It's like when I had Andy Frisella on the show. I had Andy Frisella on my show and interviewed him, and we talked about at the very end. I didn't even want to bring up 75 hard. And I said that. I said, I didn't even bring up 75 hard, dude. You know why? He's like, yeah, because now you have to do it. I was like, man, you're right, dude. And so I did 75 hard. And if you don't know what 75 hard is, go look it up. Just go to Google and type in 75 hard, and you will find all kinds of information about it. So I did 75 hard. My wife did 75 hard, and it is the hardest thing that I have ever done in my life, physically and mentally. It was unbelievable. But you can see the whole thing on Facebook. Kayla's doing it now. That's right. Corey Calvin, what up, bro? How you doing? Tammy says, yes, we just talked about not allowing ourselves to be victims. Just have to get out there and make it happen. How will you grow if you don't jump in? Let God judge you. Forget the rest. Amen. And I'm going to tell you right now, she's literally finishing her outdoor workout right now. You go. Kayla, you're killing it. I love it. Congratulations. Keep going. So, like, I don't care where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. Does not matter. And I've done, like, you know, since I went out that day and started my company, knocking on doors, having absolutely nothing to my name, $7. I was afraid to drive too far because I only had $10 gas in my car. I had to go 75 hard, HARD. Somebody type it in there for some salty, if you would. It's HARD, 75 hard, 75 hard. There, I posted it, which won't show up on my personal Facebook page. But anyway, so 75 hard is unbelievable. But anyway, she is killing it, Corey. So, you know, I don't care where you are. You know what? You got to get out of your own way. You have to get out of your own way. If you don't, or you don't, you can stay where you are. You can stay in the mindset of being stuck. You know, I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on self-improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on self-improvement. Making myself better. Does not mean I'm perfect. Does not mean that I'm perfect. But I have spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy making a better version of myself. I have a course teaching people how to go live and build their brand. I have another course with a buddy of mine teaching people how to write a book and get it up on Amazon. I have, all these different things that I do that I'm taking knowledge that I've invested a ton of money and time in. And I'm giving back. And I also get on and I do these things. I get on here and I do these things and give away free content. I've done just on Facebook, I've done 700 or 800 live streams just on my personal Facebook page. That doesn't count all of the other live streams that I've been on, Periscope, and all of the podcasts and everything else that I've been on. Doesn't count all that at all. So sometimes when I'm feeling down, and I feel down, we all go there, man. I do. If you don't go there, if you don't have bad moments and bad days, you'll lie about other things too. We all have them. I would never trust somebody that says, I never have a bad day. Everything's rainbows and unicorns for me. Okay. Good luck on that planet you live on, dude. I want nothing to do with that person. There's my brother. There's my brother right there. There's my brother. He's going to be a senior PGA Tour champion. I guarantee it. That's my little brother too. That's my little brother. I thought you were perfect. Oh, dude. So look, man, my brother, I hate playing golf with that dude. It's terrible. It's terrible. Not because he's terrible, because he makes you look terrible. Anyway, look, we all have those bad days, man. And when you're having a bad day, you're having a bad moment, you want to start bringing good stuff into your life, then do the work, man. Do the work. Hire a coach, invest in your life, man. Get somebody that can help you. I help people every day. Okay. And I coach people all week long. I have appointments set up to work with my clients that I coach them, right? Had a conversation with somebody today that needs to make a big move in life, that is in a very comfortable 6-figure position right now, salary, and is literally stuck right now and wants to explode. And I'm like, dude, all that's going to take is making the decision. That's it. Just make the decision. And it's as crazy as it sounds. Once you do, you're going to feel the weight of the world lift off of your shoulders, and your wings will be able to spring out and you'll fly. And you might hit the ground a couple of times. You might hit the ground 100 times. I don't know. I mean, we're all learning as we go. Nobody on this planet has it 100% figured out. And here's the proof. Here's the proof I have for that statement. And I'm friends with Grant Cardone. The guy's unbelievable. I don't even know what his net worth is anymore. I think Google doesn't even know. Google keeps changing it so fast because it's growing at such a rapid rate, right? The guy's got $1.5 billion worth of real estate, and he's an amazing dude. Donald Trump, billionaire, president of the United States, leader of the free world, billionaire. Bill Gates, billionaire. Steve Jobs from Apple, billionaire. Steve died, a billionaire, but he died. Sam Walton died, a billionaire, but he still died. We all are going to die. You're going to die. What's your legacy? What's your legacy? Steve Jobs isn't remembered because of being a billionaire. Steve Jobs is remembered because he literally changed an industry, completely changed an industry when he created the iPhone. Is that Howie Long? Who's Howie Long? I know that. Why do I know that name? Howie Long. Anyway, somebody on Periscope is being funny. So look, Steve Jobs entirely changed an industry. And of course, there's bad things that people say about him. There's bad things that people say about anybody. There's bad things people say about me. When you're out here making noise and you're actually doing things to positively impact the world, people are going to talk about you, man. It's just the way it is. Jamie Aguilar. Oh, there's my buddy Jamie. I love her. If you guys like from years ago, several years ago, Jamie and her beautiful daughter, Ronee, who is Miss California, or she was Miss runner up to Miss. She's amazing. Ronee is a beautiful. So they sent me taffy, saltwater taffy years, like 3 or 4 years ago. And I used to be addicted to that stuff. I'm not as much anymore. So, plus Jamie doesn't send me taffy anymore. So there's that. Hey, Ronee, she's there too. Oh, I love Ronee. She's amazing. You guys rock. So Howie Long is in football. I look like a football player. That's me. Yeah. So look, I'm telling you that you can literally accomplish anything that you want in life. Design is not just what it looks and feels like. Design is how it works. That's right. There you go. Some salty just quoted Steve Jobs right there. Some salty from YouTube. Some salty won't tell me if it is a female or a male or I have no idea. But some salty was a winner of a thing that was in football. My brother says was in football. Okay, I didn't know that. So look, get out of your way, man. Because here's the deal. I'm a she-male. Well, all righty then. So here's the deal. That was funny. So here's the deal. He said, I'm just kidding. I'm a male. All right, cool. Well, glad we got that. I'll never forget that now. My friend, some salty, the she-male male. Oh, he's on NFL Network now. Okay. Still don't know who he is. I'm going to have to look him up. What's his name? Howie Long. Howie Long. God, I know the name. Anyway, so look. If you're in your own way right now, if you feel like you're in your own way, you feel like you're stuck, you feel like, man, there's something greater that I'm supposed to be doing with my life and for the world, get out a piece of paper and start writing about it. Just start writing about it. Write out what it would look like, what it would feel like, what it would feel like. Allie Mighty says, LOL. That's funny. That is funny. Seriously. So, and Allie Mighty, like, I love all these guys on YouTube. They're freaking awesome. So get out a piece of paper and whatever it is that you dream about, like, I believe that we're all sent here with a purpose, man. We're here for a real purpose. And it's not to be self-centered, selfish, taking butt heads. Okay. We're here with a purpose to positively impact the lives of other people. We're here with a purpose to help other people. So write down, maybe it's my brother Doug is going to be a PGA champion on the PGA tour, the senior PGA tour, the seniors tour, senior PGA, whatever it is, right? Joe Skelly, I see you just popped on. Good to see you, bro. So whatever it is, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it feel like carrying that trophy to your car or to your jet or to wherever? What does it feel like to receive that? What does it feel like to hang out with Jack Nicklaus or to hang out with what does that all feel like? Write it all out. Write out some of your the positive things that you've accomplished. That's one other thing that Grant talks about is, writing down the things that the wins for your day, every single day. Write them down. Write down the wins that you have. Robert, you just wrote a book again on a comment. I'll read it later, my brother. So look, you don't have, that comment is for dessert. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay stuck, man. You can have anything you want in life. I promise you. You don't believe me? Read my book. Read my book. My book is all about my journey and how I got through some really crazy stuff. And I came out on the other side. And you know what? People are going to make fun of you. People are going to say you can't do it. People are going to, your friends, even maybe your family, they're going to say, you're crazy. We don't want anything to do with you. Especially if your dream is really big. If your dream's really big. Now, if all you talk about is having a really big dream and you're not taking action, then all you have is a really big dream and people should probably get away from you. You got to take action, man. You got to take action. Write down your daily wins daily, no matter. That's totally, Lori. Hey, Lisa White Johnson, how are you? What's going on is I'm just talking about getting unstuck. And I was telling a story about getting in your head and staying stuck in your head and knocking on doors and being scared to death to knock on doors, being scared to death to pick up the phone and make cold calls. Just being scared to death. But man, you got to be willing to take chances. One more story and I'm going to go. One of Grant Cardone's best friends, a guy named John Hamlin. John is a friend of mine and John is a client of mine. I built his website for him several years ago. Prior to that, I spent several months, 6 months maybe, trying to get John to become a client of mine. And John was very, very busy. Very, very, the name of my book, Walls of Wisdom, Turning Pain into Profit. John was very, very busy. I couldn't get him to pull the trigger. So I reached out to a mutual friend of ours and I asked her, I said, hey, I know you know John better than I do. His website is in disarray and I want to build him a new website. We've talked about it. I just can't seem to tie him down. Can you help me? And she said, absolutely. John will buy anything from me. Give me 10 minutes. She texts me back 10 minutes later and she said, done deal. It's done. Just give him 30 days and he will, you'll be good to go. And, I don't know. A couple weeks later, I commented on something of John's on Facebook that was funny he put out or something. And I get an instant message from him on Facebook saying, I can't believe you had Mrs. So-and-so call me and close the deal and you weren't on an airplane that day headed down here to get me to sign the contract and finish this thing off. What's wrong with you? This is from a guy that has his own private jet, drives a $600,000 car, has a I don't know what his Rolls Royce costs, but 300, let's say, plus has a Lamborghini and has right. And he's telling me that I screwed up. And I'm like, I literally just sat back. I looked at my screen. I think I almost started crying. I'm pretty sure. Like, oh my gosh, I just spent 8 months of my life trying to get this deal and I didn't have the forethought of getting on an airplane, flying to Florida and finishing it off after. But she's like, give him 30 days. He said he's moving his offices and blah, 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 blah. So I said, now I could have done what most people like to do, and that is start making excuses. Oh, John, I didn't know, or I didn't blah, 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 and made all the excuses. You know what I said? I said, it's weird that you just hit me up like this. I'm actually going to be in Florida in Daytona Beach tomorrow. And he's like, really? Perfect. Stop by at 9 a.m. and let's get this thing rocking. I was like, awesome. I'll see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And he's like, see you then, bro. And that was it. And I was like, oh God, I got to find a flight to Daytona Beach, Florida now. So I get on the computer. I can't find one. Okay. So the truth is I didn't look in Daytona. I thought I hadn't spent much time on the East Coast of Florida. So just hang with me before you judge me. I thought that Fort Lauderdale was right next to Daytona. I didn't realize Fort Lauderdale was right next to Miami. So I booked my flight to Fort Lauderdale. I told my assistant, hey, I'm flying into Fort Lauderdale to go meet with John Hamlin tomorrow. I have to leave tonight. I'm out of here early. And she goes, why are you flying to Fort Lauderdale? I thought he was up by Daytona. And I said, yeah, I'm just going to fly into Fort Lauderdale, rent a car, and I'll drive over there. It's like they're right next door to each other. She goes, no, they're not. No, they're not. I said, what do you mean, no, they're not? And she said, they're like 4.5 hours away from each other. Are you out of your freaking mind? I said, oh my God, my flight doesn't leave until like 8 o'clock. I don't get in until 10 o'clock. I got to rebook. I can't drive 4.5 hours all through the night. And she's like, go find a flight to Daytona. There was no flights. No, not one. This is like an hour late. I forget what the time frame was. I couldn't find a flight to Daytona. And I'm like, all right, I need to figure out if I can get on an earlier flight because that's a long drive. Could not find an earlier flight. I drove I know now, Lori, you're right. I didn't even think about it. But anyway, I flew into Fort Lauderdale and rented a car, and I drove 4.5 hours and got into a hotel room. I don't know, after stopping and using the bathroom to get rid of some of the coffee 2 or 3 times, I finally got to Daytona at like 3 or 3:30 in the morning into a little motel room. I made it. And I went over to John's office the next morning. It was at 9 o'clock. And my GPS, he's not in Daytona Beach. He's in another beach town. My GPS took me to Daytona Beach, same address that he gave me the address. I said, okay. So I put in Daytona Beach, and it took me to the wrong address. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So then I was 30 minutes late to meet with him. And the guy is the classiest dude in the world. I said, dude, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I put in Daytona Beach. I thought you were in Daytona Beach. He said, no, we're in Ormond Beach, not Daytona Beach. I said, but they're like the same, right? And he said, obviously not. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, man. And he was so gracious and so kind. And I spent the entire day with him. I didn't leave there until I think 6 or 7 o'clock that night. And I'll tell you, I have it's hidden back here in my office, but I have because I sent later after we did everything for John, I sent him he saw a post or something of I don't know, something that I posted on Facebook. He said, I love that poem or something. And I had it printed and framed and shipped to him, and in a nice wooden glass frame to hang up on your wall, and I never heard anything. Well, I had to fly back down and meet with him. I did fly to the correct airport. In fact, I think that time I flew into Orlando was the best way. But so I'm sitting in his office the second time, and I go, hey, it's no big deal, but did you did you ever get that thing I had sent to you? And he goes, what thing? And I go, I forget what the poem was, but it was framed. He goes, oh my God, that's right. Yes, I never thanked you for that. And I said, it's no big deal. I just want to make sure you got it. He goes, no, dude, yes, it's right over there. When we move over to the new office, I'm going to hang it up there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, that's right. He was like so kind. And he goes and he comes back with this beautiful wooden, like mahogany wooden case. And he hands it to me, and it has GC's initials on it in raised gold metal letters. And I'm like, what in the world is this? And he goes, open it. And I open this box up, and it's beautiful on the inside in this black leather bound version of Grant Cardone's book, Sell or Be Sold, which is my favorite book. And I mean, it's beautiful. This book is, it's back here right behind me, but I don't want to move everything to get to it right now. But it's this beautiful book. And there's 25 of these on planet Earth. And he goes, that is for you. I will not be outgiven. I'm like, I can't top this, dude. I can maybe get you a jet or something, but I cannot top this. Like, I literally can't top that gift. There's no way ever. So see, it only takes, and the Bible talks about, if you have faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, it'll be sufficient enough to move mountains. You've got to learn to have faith in yourself. Faith in yourself. And nobody is going to have more faith in you than you can have. Nobody. It takes just a little tiny bit of faith. Little bit of faith, man, and you can move mountains in your life. And those mountains, there's a song written by Creed called My Own Prison. We create our own prisons. And they're all right up here. They're right there. And you can get unstuck. You can move mountains out of your way if you would just take action, massive action towards whatever it is you're dreaming about and whatever it is that you want in your life. Take massive action. Get out of your own way. Start writing it down. Instead of walking around thinking the universe is against me, everybody's out to get me, think the universe is conspiring for me. The universe is conspiring for me. I am an attractor of money. I am a money magnet. I am worthy of great things in my life. These are things that I write down. They're things that I say. They're things that I say out loud in the shower when I'm getting ready in the morning. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm saying these things out loud. Because if I don't believe it, I'm never going to achieve it. So I have to work on what's going on up here. And that's the way you accomplish great things, man. Start having positive conversations with yourself. Because look, you are talking to yourself. I don't care what you say. You know how people say, oh, I don't know. Only crazy people talk to themselves. Well, I must be crazy. And so are you, because we all do. So those conversations you're having with yourself, change them. Change them. Start writing. Start writing. Write down the affirmations. When you have negative thoughts, immediately seize them. Seize those negative thoughts and then pile a bunch of positive thoughts that are the exact opposite of that negative thought. I'm serious. It works. Appreciate all of you jumping on here. If you're on here from YouTube, make sure you keep watching because I'm doing some more giveaways. Colleen, oh my gosh, there's Colleen. How in the world are you? If you're not following my YouTube channel, there it is, youtube.com/Ken Walls. There it is right there. Follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to build up to 100,000 followers on YouTube this year. By the end of this year, I want 100,000 followers on YouTube. I know that's a big goal. I only have like 270 right now. I'm fairly certain it is possible to get that divorce proceedings dismissed. I don't know what that means. So look, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. There's my Twitter and Instagram handle. Follow me on TikTok. I love TikTok. It's fun. Man, I'm having fun on TikTok. Lori, thank you. Doug, my brother Doug, thank you. Glenda, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate anyone who follows me. I always try to give back as best as I can. And I always, always, always try to provide value. I always try to leave people better than where I found them. I'm not always perfect at that, but I'm working on it. Colleen, thank you for sharing. You're amazing. You know I love you. You are amazing. All right, you guys have an unbelievably excellent night. Stop letting your mind defeat you. Stop letting your mind take away all of the gifts that you've been promised. Stop letting your mind take them away. It's all happening right there. I promise you. There's nothing out there. It's all right there. You are the enemy. It's your mind. For real. It's not somebody else. And I know there are bad people that do bad things. But as soon as you're removed from that situation, which should be quickly, it's no longer their fault. In my book, I wrote a story about these two monks are walking along through this cliff, on this cliff dirt road. James Bodwin, you guys need to follow that dude. He's awesome. Thank you, Weldon. But these two monks are walking and they come across this big mud puddle. There's no way to get across the mud puddle without going through the mud puddle. There's this woman standing there in a long dress, standing on the edge of the mud puddle. And she's like, oh my, I can't get across. And, you know, they're monks. They don't talk. They're sworn to silence. So one monk just picks her up and takes her and carries her across the mud puddle, sets her down, and she goes on her way. And he looks back and his buddy's still coming through the mud puddle. And he can tell that his buddy is not happy that he touched a woman because it's against their religion. So him and the other monk are walking and the woman goes scurrying off. And the one that's angry finally breaks silence and he says, I can't believe that you touched that woman. You know, we're not allowed to touch women. It's against our religion. And he says, looks at the angry monk and says, you know, I set that woman down back at the mud puddle and you're still carrying her. And he turns around and walks away. What are you carrying that you should have set down a long time ago? You should have set it down a long time ago and moved on, man. Moved on with your life, moved on with your stuff, moved on with your dreams. What are you carrying? Let it go. Let other people live their deal, man. There's going to be buttholes everywhere, no matter where you go, no matter how big you get. No matter how big you get. There's a video Grant Cardone put out recently, and he was talking about with where Jared interviewed him in their studio, and Jared's asking how much money is on each line of the balance sheet, and Grant says there's I forget the number, $170,423 in the legal fund. He's like, why do I even have a legal fund? Because the bigger you get, the more people that are going to come after you, man. The bigger you get, the more people are going to judge you and hate on you and all of that stuff. And it's always good to have a legal team in your right there in your back pocket. It's always good to have that, right? But if you're not there, it doesn't matter. Most people will never get to that level. Let's just be real. Most people will never get to that level because they're still carrying around the chick that they carried across the mud puddle and put her down. They're still carrying her. They're carrying judgment about the guy that carried the, I mean, dude, you didn't touch the woman, your buddy did, but you're all angry and bothered about it. Like, let it go, dude. I put her down back there, man. You're still carrying her. Let it go. Move on. Live your best life now. Start now. Start right now. Stop putting your life off. Oh, I got to wait until it warms up. Okay. Wait till it warms up. Hopefully you don't die before then. Well, I got to wait until next January because, man, I'll tell you, 2021, look out. That's my year. Dude, you said that in 2019 about 2020. Haters make you big. That's right. Some salty. Look, live your life, man. Get out of your own way. Get out of your way. You're in your own way. Get out of your head and live your life. Have a great night. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I really genuinely appreciate everyone that supports my live streams, that shares my everything. I really do. 2020 is an excellent year for you to get very, very clear vision on what you want and take massive action. It's an excellent year. There are 13 full moons this year. There are 13 full moons. What was it? 13 full moons, which means that there's one blue moon. A blue moon is when there are two full moons in one calendar month. That's what you've heard, once in a blue moon. That's what a blue moon is. It's when there's two full moons in the same calendar month. There are 13 full moons and I forget what there's another. This is like a really, really big year, and it should be your biggest year ever. For real. Go make it happen. Get out of your head. Get somebody to help you. I'm a coach. People pay me to coach them. Hit me up. I want to help you. Let's roll. Have a great night, and thank you to everyone who shared this out. You all rock. You really do. Love you all. Have a great night.